heralding to a starting debut. What have you seen about her temperament and her maturity that makes you think she can step up to this level?
Yeah, so she's a player that's performed week in, week out at Super W. We've seen that. She's got such a good attacking game, and last week she kind of experienced the match day with us, and she kind of managed all that really well. And going into this game, the attacking threat that she gives us and the kind of extra kind of kicking game she gives us has given her an opportunity to start.
I guess that game against Canada, they particularly got on top of you in that kick battle. How much is this response to that and the sort of looking to really control territory this week around against USA?
Yeah, the USA is a very different game for us and than what the Canada game was. So kind of the changes we've made has reflected that. Yes, Caitlin does give us a little bit more length on her kicking game, but also the way we want to attack is something that we see Caitlin being able to bring to the game.
I guess Samantha Wood starting, from debut last week straight to the starting side this week. What was the sort of selection process when you're weighing up whether to play someone like her over Lane Morgan, who's been one of the sort of regular starters in the side over the past 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, again, Sammy obviously got the opportunity to be in the matchday squad last week, and she took that opportunity. We felt really well, and the way she's trained, just feeling that at the moment she's moving that ball a little bit quicker away from the breakdown, and we want to be able to play a slightly quicker game against America.
Was it always a bit of a plan to play Caitlin against the USA? Canada would obviously be a very tough introduction to Test rugby and then you've got the Black Ferns a week later. Was the USA something you were kind of targeting for her?
Yeah, look, we went with a little bit more experience against Canada. The people like Laurie, we wanted that experience on the field, and it was always in the back of our mind that this could be an opportunity for Caitlin to get her start against the USA, providing, just getting that opportunity to experience a match day, to be in camp with us a little bit more. And she's just managed that all so well, and and she's been standout in Super W, so it was always in the back of our minds to look at her having an opportunity here.
Laurie on the bench, is that kind of a not a safe, but a bit of a backup in case the occasion might get to Caitlin?
Yeah, Laurie being in the squad, she's a really good person around the squad, and that experience and the way she supports others, she's got a really important role.
And keeping a few of the other debutants from last week on the bench again, did you see enough from them that you thought that they did enough and the USA is another opportunity for them?
Yeah, most definitely. They took their opportunity. They came on, we thought, well, like that last 10-15 minutes, the way that they stuck at it and held Canada out, it showed some really good character, which is great to see from the squad.
Did you see anything from their game against the Black Ferns? Obviously, the Black Ferns kind of ran away with it. Same too with Canada. I know you can't kind of go in expecting anything, but does it give you a bit of confidence going into this game that if everything goes well, that you can the side can put in a really strong performance?
Yeah, I think the big focus this week has been on us. Kind of really focusing on the bits that we saw at the weekend that we can kind of develop and work on. There were some good positives at the weekend, but equally, there was areas of the game that we wanted to work on. So the focus has very much been on us. This is kind of going into our second week together. So that's been a big emphasis of let's focus on us and get our game plan right. And then obviously watching the USA, we know they've got some really strong individuals that play in the Prem in the UK that stand out over there. Obviously there's a player over here, so we kind of know their individuals and we know they've got some good players, so we're definitely not taking them lightly, but the big focus has been on us.
I guess, you mentioned a player, I think Charlie Jacoby's played here for the Reds, but they've now got a coach who was in this distance for the past years in Sione. How does that help? In terms of planning wise, when you have someone who has such a sort of insight into your side, how does it go about sort of just trying to plan what they're going to throw at you in terms of defensive wise, and how can that help them sort of game plan against you guys?
Yeah, we're obviously aware Sione's there, and the girls have got a lot of respect for him, and he's obviously coached the girls, some of our individuals, for a long time. But we've made changes as a squad in terms of how we attack and defend. So all we can do is control what we can, and so that's why we're just focusing on us. But very aware that he has got some good insights into the squad as especially the individuals within it.
And just on Eva starting to play ground, what do you think of that play? Or how do you think of that play to get the best? Eva turning up week in, week out. We saw how damaging she was, particularly in WXV last year, where she basically, she inspired Australia to victory, won Wallarooos Player of the Year. What sort of secret to getting the best out of that?
Eva's really stepped up in training, and she showed that yesterday in our physical day. When she gets ball in hand, she is really damaging, and we've had some good conversations, and she's very clear on what her focuses are going into this weekend. So I'm excited to see what she can do.
And obviously, I think winning here gets into WXV1. How much does you have to go about just tempering that pressure and expectations and really keeping the focus internal about turning the game around from last week?
Yeah, like we've said, the massive focus is on us, and actually we know that if we can kind of put right a few of those kind of execution errors and a little bit of where we went off game plan a little bit last week, if we can put that right, then we can control that, and that's the big focus for us.
Just on those execution issues, do you just put that down to just a little bit of rough, first test of the year, or are there little tweaks that you've made during the game plan just to sort of try and avoid that happening again? Yeah,
it's obviously, we know it was challenging coming into this. We're sort of an 8-day run into the first test, having not had a hit out beforehand, and that's not ideal going into a competition like Pac 4. So inevitably we were going to, there were going to be a few little errors like that. From an attack and defence perspective, the players have had a lot of information to take on board, so it was inevitable that there were going to be some errors, but the girls have responded so well this week to that. They've really reflected on the game hard, they've reviewed the game hard, and kind of we're excited to see how they can kind of implement those learnings into Friday night's game.